In a surprising yet not entirely unexpected turn of events, Terrell Owens has categorically ruled out any possibility of mending fences with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. This Hall of Fame wide receiver, who once graced the field in Dallas with his explosive talent, has now become one of the most divisive figures in the franchise's storied history. With his undeniable on-field contributions during his 3-year tenure, it's hard to overlook how his departure continues to cast a long shadow over both his legacy and the organization. So, Cowboys fans, where are you watching from? What are your thoughts on Owens' comments? Let's dive deeper into this intriguing narrative. Owens' latest remarks to Action Network leave little room for misinterpretation. He stated bluntly, "I couldn't care less about Jerry and what he's doing. I don't concern myself with the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't concerned themselves with me since I left there." These words, stark and devoid of any sentimentality, reflect a profound emotional detachment from a franchise that once celebrated him as a star. The relationship, which was once vibrant, has now become a relic of the past, reinforced by a decade of silence and absence from both sides. The venom in Owens' words doesn't just stem from the bitterness of a bygone era, but also signifies a complete detachment from what the Cowboys represent today. He has moved on, but his disdain for how things unfolded during his final days in Dallas remains palpable. "I have nothing to say about them," he concluded, echoing a sentiment that seems to resonate with many fans who remember the dramatic end to his Cowboys chapter. To understand this animosity, we must take a step back to the tumultuous 2008 season. Expectations were sky-high as the Cowboys entered the year with a genuine shot at a Super Bowl run. But instead of glory, they found themselves mired in internal strife and inconsistent performances. Owens, while still statistically impressive, faced mounting frustrations, particularly concerning his relationship with quarterback Tony Romo and the overall direction of the offense. Reports indicated that Owens felt marginalized, believing that plays were being funneled away from him in critical moments in favor of Jason Witten. The locker room became a powder keg, with tensions rising to the extent that teammates had to intervene during practice confrontations. This disarray culminated in a disappointing 9-7 finish, ultimately forcing the Cowboys to reassess their strategy and leadership. In 2009, Jerry Jones made the tough decision to part ways with Owens, despite his continued production. It was a move aimed at stabilizing the locker room and reinforcing Romo as the face of the franchise. Fast forward to today, and the echoes of that decision still reverberate. Owens' current stance is a testament to how deeply those events impacted him. His refusal to look back or engage with the Cowboys suggests a healing process that never truly began. It's an emotional barricade built on years of frustration, and it raises the question, can the Cowboys afford to ignore the lessons from their past as they move forward? As we reflect on these developments, it's crucial to consider what this means for the current state of the Cowboys. With Owens' legacy intertwined with the franchise, his sentiments serve as a reminder that history can't simply be erased. The organization must navigate its present with an awareness of its past, especially as it looks to forge a new identity in a highly competitive league. Now, as we transition to our next news item, let's keep in mind the importance of history in shaping future decisions. What does this mean for the Cowboys moving forward? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain. The ghosts of past relationships continue to loom large over AT&T Stadium. Terrell Owens has never been shy about sharing his feelings, and his recent interview with Kyle Odegaard of Action Network has reignited the long-standing tension between him and the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't just a simple reflection on a player's career. It's a stark reminder of the tumultuous relationship that has unfolded since his departure from Dallas. Owens made it abundantly clear that any hope for a reunion, whether in the form of a friendly gesture or a nostalgic moment, is off the table. He stated bluntly that he doesn't care about the Cowboys anymore, and frankly, it seems the feeling is mutual. In his own words, Owens said, "I don't concern myself with the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't concerned themselves with me since I left there." This sentiment encapsulates the bitterness that has characterized his exit from the team and his relationship with owner Jerry Jones and the organization as a whole. The animosity is palpable, and it's hard to ignore the history that led to this point. Owens was released just before the start of the 2009 season, a move that was widely anticipated due to his reputation as a disruptive force within the locker room and a challenging personality for then-offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. And let's be honest, while we can acknowledge Owens' contributions on the field, over 1,000 receiving yards and double-digit touchdowns during each of his 3 seasons with the Cowboys, his off-field antics often overshadowed his on-field production. The Cowboys had to make a tough decision. And while they may have gained some stability after his departure, Owens certainly did not fade quietly into the background. After the Cowboys, Owens had a short stint with the Buffalo Bills, where he found a surprisingly warm reception. He expressed gratitude for how the Bills embraced him, highlighting the community's efforts to include him in various initiatives. It's a stark contrast to the contentious relationship he has with Dallas, showcasing how different franchises can manage their legends. Or, in Owens' case, their once legendary players. He also spent a final year with the Cincinnati Bengals before retiring after remarkable 15 seasons in the NFL. His career culminated in a Pro Football Hall of Fame induction in 2018, a testament to his undeniable talent and record-setting performances. Despite the bitterness that lingers, no one can deny that Owens ranks among the most productive receivers in the history of the game. But as we dissect Owens' comments and the history he shares with the Cowboys, it raises questions about accountability, legacy, and the nature of relationships within professional sports. Should the Cowboys have done more to mend fences with a player of his caliber? Or was it wise for them to move on, prioritizing team chemistry over individual talent? The Cowboys have their own narrative to maintain, and while Owens remains a divisive figure, his words echo a sentiment that many fans may feel, an unresolved chapter that continues to loom over the franchise. As we look ahead, the question remains, what does the future hold for both Owens and the Cowboys? Will this estrangement linger, or can time heal these wounds? It's a complex web of emotions that speaks to the heart of fandom, where loyalty, bitterness, and nostalgia often collide. Let's transition now to our next segment, which will explore the current state of the Cowboys roster and any potential moves that could reshape their future. Stay tuned.
As we dive deeper into the Dallas Cowboys' current standing, it's hard to ignore the whispers surrounding potential roster changes, particularly regarding George Pickens. It seems like the Cowboys are committed to keeping him around, which could be a game changer for the offense. However, the overarching sentiment is that the Athletic's post-draft roster rankings have left many fans scratching their heads, especially with the Cowboys shockingly absent from the upper echelons of that list. Leading the way are the Rams, with the Seahawks and Bills rounding out the top three. But let's be real, the Athletic's evaluation begins to falter as we move down the ranks, especially with the Chiefs sitting at fourth. The Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Ravens, Packers, Jaguars, 49ers, Patriots, and Lions follow suit, but the glaring omission of the Cowboys is a stark oversight that demands attention. The analysis from Austin Mock points to the offensive side of the ball as a strength for the Cowboys. With a solid foundation at quarterback and wide receiver, particularly with the dynamic duo of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, it's easy to see why many would consider them a top-tier pairing in the league. Yet, the narrative quickly shifts to the defense, which Mock flags as a significant concern. The reliance on second-year player Donovan Ezraku and rookie Malachi Lawrence to fill the edge rusher void raises eyebrows, especially given their inexperience. Let's pause for a moment and take stock of the bigger picture. While some may dismiss Williams' 7-game stint with the Cowboys in 2025, the reality is that he's integrated himself into the team and is primed for another Pro Bowl-worthy performance. He's on a roll with 4 consecutive Pro Bowl selections, and there's no reason to think he won't continue that streak in 2026. His ability to disrupt both the run and pass game will be crucial, especially under the new defensive coordinator Christian Parker. His presence alone can elevate the entire defensive unit. Now, let's talk about the potential impact of Kenny Clark teaming up with Williams. If they can mesh well, the Cowboys could very well improve their run defense from a dismal 22nd ranking last season to a top 10 unit. And let's not forget DeMarvion Overshadowed. If he can stay healthy, he's poised to make a significant impact. The reality is that when it comes to roster evaluations, one can't factor in injury histories unless they are clear concerns heading into Week 1. Right now, Overshadowed is expected to be ready to go. Another name to keep an eye on is cornerback Siobhan Revel Jr. He has the potential to be a key player if he can maintain his health throughout the season. While Mock raises valid concerns about the need for edge rusher depth, there's an argument to be made that the Cowboys might already have the talent necessary to generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks. If Rashawn Gary can return to form, having consistently hit at least 7.5 sacks in 4 of the last 5 seasons, he can provide the pressure needed from one side of the line. On the opposite end, the Cowboys have promising young talents in Ezraku and Lawrence. They don't need to become superstars overnight, But if they can collectively contribute around 12 to 14 sacks, the Cowboys will be in a favorable position. The truth is, if the Cowboys can apply pressure, the secondary will have the capability to stifle opposing offenses. And let's not overlook the monumental addition of Caleb Downs to this roster. His arrival is poised to elevate the defense significantly. Known for his football intelligence and versatility, Downs is expected to make an immediate impact, transforming the way the Cowboys approach defensive gameplay. His ability to read the field like a chessboard and play with urgency will be invaluable in helping the Cowboys regain their status among the NFL's elite defenses. Last season, the Cowboys were just a few yards shy of the Rams in total yards per game. With slight adjustments, they're on the cusp of breaking through in 2026. The lack of heavy offensive drafting indicates confidence in the current roster, which is projected to score around 28 points per game. With such potent offensive capabilities and a bolstered defense, the Cowboys are gearing up to make a significant push in the upcoming season. As we wrap up this segment, I want to hear from you Cowboys fans. Where are you watching from, and what do you think about these recent developments? Make sure to leave your comments below. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more insights and discussions about our beloved Dallas Cowboys. The road ahead looks promising, but the journey is only just beginning. Let's rally together and support our team as they aim for greatness.